Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Support Driven Support Operations podcast. I'm officially launched. Very excited to be here this morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are. I am the host, Alicia Joseph. Most of you out there know me as Ali Joseph. Of course, I'm the founder of Savvy Service Pro Learning Solutions, and I have been in the support world for over 15 years. And of course, with our topic today and what we're talking about, which is regarding with product, of course, that has been a core win for me in my career with the product team, as long as our language is aligned. I'm excited to be here, and I'm also excited to have my other co-host as well, Miss Sarah Betts. I'm a big fan. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself, and I'm ready to get this show started.
All right, let's go. Thanks, Sally. I'm Sarah Betts. I am Director of Support and Operations at Vizit. We are a visual intelligence platform. I have been lucky enough to be with Support Driven for many years and have learned so much. I am passionate about the relationship between support and product. I think it is so critical to the success of a company. And one of the things that I am so excited to be here today to talk about was Laura just grabbed me, and I think she's going to grab you with the statement that she's trying to get rid of tier one support. Just nix it. And so I am excited to introduce Laura, who is head of all things support at Vitally, and she is going to tell us more about this attention grabbing thought that she
Yes.
has. Hit us, Laura.
Yeah, so I'm Laura. I'm currently, as Sarah said, Director of Support at Vitally. We are a customer success platform for B2B businesses. I'm a Latina in tech without a degree that really I got to where I am by collaborating with product and engineering and really ensuring that the product experience was great. And so it really aligns with getting rid of tier one support. I actually was at a networking event and I met Ethan Walsh. So shout out to him, who said that to me. And it finally put the words into what I actually have been trying to do. Kind of like those easy questions should not take up the time of your support team. It should either be obvious, or in today's AI world, AI should be able to pick up pretty easily. So yeah, I'm really excited about this entire topic a little bit more. It's been a long road with AI of learning all of that and trying to keep up on all of the trends, but also being able to partner with product and engineering to even just make an information icon just more clear. Sometimes it's just a sentence that just needs a better wording. And I'm sorry for my Slack. Let me turn that off before we all get PTSD from the Slack noises.
Awesome. So I guess my first question, or we can talk about, because this is very interesting, is your getting rid of tier one. So I guess talking about Vitality now in its current state, what do you consider, what does tier one look like right now at Vitality? And what are you doing now with this idea of getting rid of tier one? What are the plans so far that's been put in action in your current role?
Yeah, Alicia, I hope that you do not think that I'm coming for you. Everybody does this. It's Vitally.
Oh, no, no worries. Please let me know.
Literally, it happens so often that it's like an internal joke at the company. On when I first interviewed with the company, I was like, "How do you say this word?" Like, that was one of my questions in my interview. I was like, "Is it vitally, vitality? Like, how do I say that?" But yeah, at Vitally right now, tier one, our support team we are not super tiered, right? So we just have the technical support team. So I like to say that they're kind of like tier one and tier two because my team is really technical. Like they do things and again, as I have been in tech and have a lot of friends in tech, it seems that like tier one, tier two, tier three, whatever tiers are out there are so differently defined in places. So I can't even put a definition of here's the benchmark, here's what makes us different or what makes us the same because it's literally different everywhere. But for us, and especially because we are still a smaller company, we are a true tech startup still. We just happen to have really good people that operationalize so well. So a lot of our customers are like, I'm sorry, there's only how many people at your company? They think that we're this like Google of the world or something. And I'm like, no, like not even a fraction of that.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so right now, I really wanted to keep it super simple. We got our technical support team, and then they answer any question when it comes to product support, right? How do I do this? Hey, I can't seem to figure out. I'm trying to create X, Y, and Z. I don't know where to go from here. Or something's not working. I'm clicking this button and it's frozen, or whatever the case may be. From there, if technical support is like, oh yeah, something's going on, something funky is happening, we've tested this, it should not be working that way, or whatever the collaboration internally looks like, then we go ahead and escalate it over to our support engineering. So technically speaking, we've got tier one, which is my support team. And then tier two is our support engineering team. And then tier three is our engineering team. So super, super simple. But that's just on paper, right? If I had to truly explain this on a very basic level, that's what it is. But once you get a little bit more context and more understanding of how our teams actually work, and then working with the support team, technical support is tier one, tier two. They are super knowledgeable. They can do a lot of things that most tier one teams can't do. I think of sometimes tier one as just like, did you try turning it on and off? That didn't work? Okay, I'm going to hand you over to technical support, sorry, support engineering too. So that's right now what it looks like. That was a very long-winded answer of it, but hopefully that gave you lots of information.
Yeah.
No, very good context for sure.
Yeah. So what was it about that conversation with Ethan? You had this thought like, gosh, I can do this. What then did you go back to work with? What was going through your mind? What did you take a look at first, and where did you go from there?
Yeah. So to be clear, when I spoke to Ethan, he just put the words behind what I was already doing. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. Yeah, I am trying to get rid of tier one because I don't want to, this like low hanging fruit. I want to get rid of them. I want to automate that, or I want to make that super, super obvious. So the first things, some of the things that I've been looking into and trying to get this going is I've been breaking up a lot of our volume into what we call features, right? And it's a very manual human process that we do with an intercom as our support tool. So for every conversation, we have a conversation attribute that the team selects what features the customer talking about. On top of that, we also it's split up. Once a customer reaches out to us, they have two buttons in the in-app chat. Is this a how-to question or is something not working? So we split those up into how-to educational opportunities and then perceived bugs. Of
And that's
course,
the customer selects that, right? Not your team?
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're automating that part of it. The reason why I don't want to only look at confirmed bugs and perceived bugs is that percentage of how many conversations came in as I think that there is a bug, and then how many conversations actually were a bug, that gap in between, that's where that tier one support, that's where I can get rid of it. There's a misunderstanding in the product. I expect it to work in a certain way and it's not, or something more enablement. Someone is brand new and they're like, oh, I had no idea. There's so many different reasons to it. So with that data, what I've been doing is I do two different types of reports for product and then my senior leadership. Again, because we're a small startup, I'm in conversations with our CEO and, kind of like C-suite. So a lot of what I do in those reportings is I break it up into the first one is a quarterly reporting, which should be pretty basic for any support leader. Here's our quarterly findings in terms of like volume, whatever data points are important to your teams. That one is something that is done every quarter. It's the same template, nothing really anything crazy out there. The second report that I create is the most important one, and this is how I'm trying to get rid of that tier one support. It is a bi-monthly, so every other month I have a meeting with some C-suite leaders as well as product, so like our 1, 2 product managers, And then maybe sometimes even like design comes in. It just depends on who's available and what the conversation is going to be about, honestly, for that month. And in that one, what I do is I break it up and I only look at two different segments right now. One, we're going to look at strategic customers. You're always going to want to prioritize them. You should listen to them. They're paying you lots of money. But then the second segment that I look at is our highest churn. Who is going, I can't use Vitally anymore. And whatever the reason is, and it's, we're at a point where a lot of customers are just, it's not the product. They're just trying to downsize and trying to really
Everybody's being hit by that. Yeah.
yeah,
Where can I cut $1?
exactly. Yeah. Tech stacks are, we're getting smaller, which in our defense, that's what Vitally is for, is to help you with that. But that's just me. But oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought of what I was saying.
So you have this report that you do that's bi-monthly, and you're looking
Yes.
at churn customers, strategic customers. Are you reporting on onboarding stats at all?
No, so we're only like post sales and post onboarding. So the onboarding piece is a different team. We don't even really talk to customers during onboarding, only in specific times. Their implementation or solutions architects, I should say, they are their point of contact. They pretty much own the relationship from start to finish.
Okay.
And so we do talk to them every so often,
I'm sure you talk to them some.
yeah. Of course, yeah. But I'm not looking at,
You're
these
not
customers.
reporting on those conversation stats, just post onboarding. Got it. All right.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
what does that meeting look like? So you sit down, you're presenting these stats. I assume that changes frequently.
Yeah.
What does that conversation look like? And then what happens after that conversation?
Yeah, for sure. So it's pretty much I try to templatize everything that I can because then it's just plug and play. And then it's consistent, right? Customers or no, not customers, leadership or people in this meeting. If they know what's coming and what to expect, they will be able to actually receive and be receptive to the information a lot better. So I pretty much break it up into here's a graphic where you can visually see the amount of tickets that are coming in for those features, right? So we're only looking at our strat customers and then we're looking at whatever segment has the highest churn. Then I go, okay, playbooks maybe, which is our automation tool. Maybe that's something that like a lot of customers are reaching out about. And then whatever other topics, features are like top 5 is usually what I go for. From there, we look at themes. What are you confused at? Are there constant questions from multiple customers? Intercom does really good at giving us AI summaries. So it's AI on AI on AI. And then I do a little bit of manual intervention as well because you can't just rely on AI to give you everything, nor should you.
That generally doesn't go well.
So what I do is I export whatever my filters are at the time. I export a list and then it gives me one of the columns is an AI issue summary. And so I put that into ChatGPT and I go, give me some themes. Are there just from this, what are you finding? From there, this is the human intervention. I then double check, are these themes actually good? Do they make sense? And then I refine it. The product, we call it like a support product feedback loop is pretty much what we're calling this meeting. It is not a sexy title, but it's straightforward and everybody just knows. And it's basically just 2 columns after that graphic. Here are the themes, and then here are our recommendations because our customers are going to tell us what they would want better.
Yep.
Will those recommendations always land? No, but it's a starting point. And so at that point, it's not just on product's hands. One thing that I've learned over the years is that when it comes to product and engineering, sometimes they can be so far removed from customers that they think about things in a very high level. And so they're not thinking with true empathy and they're just thinking very logical. And I totally get it. We need that balance. I think support should always be the voice of the customer, right? There's, so many companies that have a separate department for that. Your support team either should be in that department or be working very closely with that department.
Talk to them all day. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should be talking to them all day. How could you possibly know? Support is going to hear the good, the bad, the terrible, all the paper cuts that's going to cause a customer to eventually be like, I just can't anymore. So yeah, that is pretty much what I try to do bi-monthly. And so far it's been pretty good and we've gotten some momentum, which I'm really excited about.
That's awesome. It seems like you're really trying to still continue to balance, because I think that's a lot of companies now, between with AI and still the human element. So that's really cool to hear. So are there any challenges that you're currently seeing? I know for some companies, they may still be trying to figure out how do they balance AI with like their human staff. We have so many people who are, of course, with downsizing and bringing in AI, of course, people are afraid of losing their roles, or what does that mean? I always tell people it's actually an opportunity to transition with AI, not necessarily, hey, you're losing your role to an extent. So are there any like challenges you can share with us that you've seen just with now you trying to get rid of tier one support?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think a lot of senior leadership and C-suite, something that we've been noticing is there's a lot of VP of revenue or more of like the finance people that are heading CS organizations. And they're just dollars, like for them, and they should be. That's their whole job, right? Literally, it's in the name, revenue. And I think with that, we're seeing a lot of companies that they're trying to replace their support team with AI. And I'm sorry, if you're listening to this, that is never going to happen. In order for that to be successful, you would need your customers to know exactly what is happening, what they want, how they want it, and when they want it.
We're
That's
safe, y'all.
yeah, you're putting a lot of faith into your customers, and they've got too much going on. They've got their own problems. The last thing they're going to do is sit here and go, let me make sure that I write up a really good question so AI knows exactly what I want and gives me the exact answer that I want. That logical piece from humans, AI will never do it, ever. So we've definitely, for me, I'm very grateful that I am at a company where it is not being seen as a replacement tool. It is very much seen as an enhancement tool to help you scale. Now, is it going to replace? Absolutely not. Will it help you not have to hire as much? Absolutely. Definitely some of the challenges, especially at first when AI first started coming out, was the misinterpretation of, oh, awesome. Maybe we don't even need that big of a support team, or, oh, we can just stop hiring for a really long time. No, capacity will be capacity no matter if AI is there or not. The numbers will never lie. So that was definitely one of the bigger challenges. Again, I was never really met with a lot of pushback, thankfully, just because I am, again, super thankful and grateful that I'm at a company where AI is not seen as a replacement tool. But as a leader that first was trying to implement and pitch Finn at Intercom, that was a really scary thing to do, where it was like, do you think that this is going to replace my team? If layoffs are such a norm now, is this going to be part of your thinking when it comes to layoffs? Is my support team going to be affected because you think AI is going to do that? So I've definitely pitched it, especially to product and especially to engineering in those meetings. I've broken up a lot as well. I put in little call outs or anything of what Finn is doing really good in and doing not so good in as another data point to product and engineering of, oh, not even AI can help with this. Something is wrong within the product. So you can still tie all of that back. Yeah, it's super helpful. But if AI is also not able to figure it out and the customer is not able to figure it out, and now we need human intervention, that's a great data point to go, red flag. Something is going on in the product that it is not working well enough.
You talked about not having a degree, being a Latina in tech. That's a hard position to be in. Just being a woman in tech is hard enough.
Yes.
How
Yes.
how did you go to executives and be like, I want to propose this fundamental change in the way we work? And sometimes I've been lucky enough to work with product where this has never really been a problem. But sometimes you go to product and you're like, I'm going to give you data on how to fix all of these things that are broken and humans can't figure out. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There can be some egos in certain departments. How did you bring this up? How did you propose this? How was it received initially? And how did you overcome any challenges that you faced there?
Yeah. It is really hard. And imposter syndrome is very real.
Amen.
It definitely, there are times where I wake up and I go, wow, how did I get here? I don't understand.
The morning pinch. Am I awake?
Yeah, yeah. I think for one, it depends on where you are, right? The people that you work with, that's a huge part of it. You could be really awesome at your job and you can prove everything, but if you got someone with ego and pride, it doesn't matter.
Very
Um,
true.
you know,
Hmm.
and some people just can't think outside of themselves. And I've been in positions like that and I've left companies because of it. I'm like, okay, no problem. You know what? This isn't my company at the end of the day. It's not my baby. So I'm gonna go.
Great job board on support driven. If somebody out there is in that position, there's places hiring.
Yeah,
Motivation.
yeah, yeah. Like that shouldn't be, it should be a collaborative space. So because Vitally is filled with collaborative people, now, this is not to say that everybody's so wonderful and perfect and everyone's just so open. Sometimes people think that their logic makes the most sense. And that's when those really harder conversations come in. It's that consistency of I'm just going to keep bringing this problem over and over and over again until you finally get to a point where you go, oh, okay, I got it. So the product reporting, because I've been so consistent, I've been at Vitally now for 3.5 years. I started the quarterly reporting about 2 years ago, but not until about a year ago was like product and C-suite much higher were they actually starting to like look at that. But I just kept going. I just kept making it, even if nobody was looking at it. I was like, I'm just going to keep doing it because at the end of the day, it's data for me, so I can understand. And if somebody asks me a question, I have a fully thought out, data backed response to whatever you're going to ask me. So at first, nobody was really looking at them. People were just busy. It's not that they were just putting me aside. I also just try to have a lot of positive intent, to be honest with you, in a position where sometimes people are like, you're not qualified for this. Whether you mean to or not, it's definitely happened, and that's okay. I get it. But I have to work a little bit harder sometimes to get people's buy-in because on paper, they're like, oh, okay, you dropped out of college and you also went to school for interior design, like super unrelated to any of this.
Child
Um,
development here. Which actually is remarkably relevant. Anyway.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But it's really just building those relationships that really helped me. Building your credibility and building a reputation for yourself is something that is going to go such a long way. I mentor so many women, and in my conversations, the first thing that I tell them is network at work. You don't have to network outside of work. Network at work. You have no idea who's going to go, oh my God, this person is really smart. I want them on my team. That could be a promotion. Or that person leaves and there's an open role at this new company and they go, I worked with someone super awesome at my last company. I think we should interview them. You have no idea that it's an incredible resource that so many people, you think networking and you think, oh, I'm going to go to a mixer or I'm going to go to like support driven, which I love support driven. It has made me the leader that I am today. But in my career, I made friends with every single person that I possibly could within my company. That allowed for them to have their wall down because they liked me, because I didn't just come to them for, hey, I just need this. I had an actual rapport with them. I had a relationship with them, and they got to know me and they got to understand the way that I think about things. I'm a very logical and very subjective person. How could you
The way you
possibly?
said that, though, that you made friends. I think that's one of the things we miss with networking is we think it's, I'm going to hand you a business card. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to say, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. But we are humans, we're social creatures, and we have so many little antennae that go, I think I'm just being used here. So, yeah, making
Yep.
those friendships, connecting, figuring out like, oh, you're the beer fanatic. You love horses. You always go to that one place every summer. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be best friends. You don't have to text each other or call each other. You don't have to. You really don't. Most of the conversations that I have with one of the product managers is very product focused. The other day, we had a conversation about people eating kiwis with the skin on, and I was like, that's so freaking weird. I cannot believe that you do that. And then we had an entire conversation with
I love
the
how say she's like, they what?
It's like those little moments. I actually also run a social group for women in Boston, and I've been being asked a lot, how are you growing this community? What is it? And people think there's like a secret sauce to it. And I'm like, take a step back. First of all, people will remember how you made them feel. Full stop. That's where you start and that's where you end. Whether you are at work, whether you are, I don't know, freaking AT&T, I don't know, like it doesn't matter. If you treat that person like a human being, they're
Mhm.
going to go far beyond your expectations because you saw them first as a human and second as an employee or a connection. Every single person that is a new hire at Vitally, I say hello to them. I introduce them. I go, hey, my name is Laura. I've been here for 3.5 years. I'm director of support. I started off here. I give them a very short rundown and I go, here's how I can help you in your onboarding or in your career at Vitally. I've been here long enough where I don't know every single answer, but I can guarantee you that I can point you in the right direction when you don't know. That line
That's
alone.
the superpower. I know where to go to get the answer.
Yeah, because first, we're not robots. We can't be expected to know everything. But if you know, hey, I don't know this, but I think this might be a better resource, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're not, but maybe they know exactly who it is. It's just a matter of introduce yourself, what you're about, and then go, this is how I can help you. Once you allow that person to understand, oh my God, this person is here to help me, they're going to want to help you back. It's human beings. Is it 100% of the time that people are going to think like that? No, maybe not. But you know what? We need to be kinder and nicer and be more helpful to each other. And when you are the first person to initiate that, you'd be surprised how many people will meet you.
Absolutely. I agree. It's building those allies where I may not be able to reach that context or communication with someone, but there's someone else that can. If you're building that relationship and not just, I want, it definitely makes a difference. Because I know sometimes we go, because we're so fast paced and we're always moving around, where it's just, okay, I have this priority list and I need to get it done, and we're just focused on that. But just that human element, which, by the way, guys, again, is a second reason why AI will never take over in that capacity. You have to have that human element. So, Laura, you brought a very good point up as well. It's building that networking at work, but also there's some people that you may just not gel with in general. Just having those allies that do can definitely make an entire difference. So definitely, I appreciate you sharing that point.
Yeah, yeah.
I imagine leading with that laid the groundwork for this initiative to take off. That they knew that you were trying to help, not step on toes. Do you
Yeah,
think
Yep.
yeah.
that was part of that?
Yeah, I've been here longer than most people. Our product manager started, I don't know, a year, 2 years after me. And the first thing, even my support team, the technical support team before I started leading support engineering team, I was like, you are to say hi to every single new engineer that comes through those doors. You
Yep.
may never talk to them, and they are probably going to say thanks because they're engineers and they're not usually
We're
pretty.
not here for the social atmosphere.
Yeah, which is totally fine. But the relationship that my support team has with engineering, our CTO has multiple times said that he has so much faith and trust in my support team. And it's not because we did it alone and because we figured it out alone. It's because we built a relationship with engineering, and engineering said, okay, I know this person. They're not dumb. They just didn't know. So I'm going to now take the time to give them direct feedback on what could have gone better. So next time it doesn't happen.
Love
That has helped so much. I very much coach my team to say, I'm like, just saying, hey, welcome to Vitally. My name is X. This is what I do. If you have any feedback from me and some of the tickets that come your way, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to learn. In the future, I want to become a software engineer myself. Whatever. I have a lot of team members that want to do all kinds of different things. The ones that want to be a software engineer, you need to tell them that. because they will help you. They will 100% help you get there. And if you don't say it, how's anyone supposed to know? So build that rapport, come take the initiative, put in the effort. This is something that I also say within my community. It's in the effort. If you're waiting around for somebody else to do it, you're going to be waiting around forever. But if you just do it, you're opening the door. Then you're just waiting for the other person to walk through it. That's easy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we need a clip of this because this is how you operationalize psychological safety across the org. You
Yeah.
have made it okay for people to say, hey, you did this. I needed this. Next time, do it like this. And also, I'll help you get your next job. Bravo. I love it. It's amazing.
All in one. Now, speaking about support engineering, vitally, support engineering is under you, which is, I definitely think that changes the game as well, where you have the support piece and the engineering piece. So, can you talk to us a little bit about how you make decisions and how do you decide product changes or with help documentation or education or even with like internal automation? Are there any decision trees that you use with the project managers? How do those conversations come about?
Yeah, just to give you context on more of the way that we are working internally. So we have the technical support team is under me, and support engineering was handed over to me last month. So I am still
Ooh,
Congratulations.
so new to this. I just recently got the director. I was a senior manager before. And so I just got my director, which then meant here's more for you to do. So I'll start off with support engineering and how I think it's so relevant because I'm in the midst of, I don't know what I'm doing. With support engineering, a lot of what I'm trying to do is just really double check the operations and processes that they have in place. Do they need to be revamped? Are they working? Is anything broken that we haven't noticed? And do we need something new? Or do we need to just throw something out? So the baseline of operations. For me, I think operations, it is what makes any team succeed or completely drown. If you have nothing guaranteed, everyone's going to be running around like chickens without heads. It's just terrible. Right now, what I'm doing currently with support engineering is that I'm trying to ensure that I understand, one, what are all the processes that y'all have? There were things that I had no idea that it was part of their job. And so I'm learning, I'm like, oh my God, okay, now I understand your workload. How is that workload being dispersed? What's realistic? What's not realistic? A lot of this support engineering has been around vitally for a few years, but a lot of the operations haven't been touched in a really long time. So I was like, okay, we were in a different state in the company with different staffing at that time. We probably need to update a lot of these operations because we were thinking of more people. We were thinking about these operations with more people in mind, and now we have less people, and the responsibilities are dispersed in a different way. I'm just doing the baseline right now of literally just, okay, when is the next triage deadline? How should that be calculated? What is actually capacity? Are the templates for our bug reports and tech requests good? Are they still relevant? Are they giving the support engineering team enough information to be able to do their job efficiently? So I'm really just starting in the baseline. I want to emphasize, I don't know what I'm doing. We are all faking it.
Looks like you're doing pretty well, though, honestly.
Every single step, I've asked for help. I've gone back to my team and I've gone, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is the problem or the context. This is what I'm thinking. Do you agree or disagree? And then from there, I go, okay, this is what they're saying. It gives me better insight. I process the information. And then I go back to my engineering resource and I go, hey, here's what I'm thinking. This is the problem. This is what my support engineering team is saying. This is what I think we should do. What are your thoughts? I've been working with an engineering manager. So it's a lot of help. I'm not doing anything by myself. I can't. Nobody can. You can't do things alone. A lot of it is really me asking for help. Even in support driven, I found a support eng channel and I said, hi, I'm brand new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. Can anyone tell me anything? What tools are you guys using? What are your operations like? Like, I started off super, super simple, and I had a conversation with, I cannot remember her name, unfortunately, right now. And I was really nervous that I needed to be super technical. And the first thing she said was like, no, you don't. You don't need to be technical. You just need to be really good at operations. Your team can be technical and you can figure that out. Yeah, you should be technical and you'll get there, but that shouldn't be a priority. Operations and processes should be a priority. And I'm so glad it gave me the validation that I needed, because I thought that I generally needed to understand everything from start to finish in order for me to be effective. And I still don't know half the things that they're doing, or not that I don't know, but I don't understand them. But I just have to ask them. And then I have enough context for me to be like, oh, okay, cool. This makes a lot more sense. Here's what I'm thinking. And then they can get back to me with feedback and going, oh, yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. This is why it makes a lot of sense. My brain is just absorbing. So that's on the support engineering team. In terms of just like product and working with any other departments, I'm very data driven. Everything, if I come to you with something, it's because I've done my research. So I am not just like, hey, I think or I feel, is here are the facts.
Numbers.
Therefore, here are my feelings. What are your thoughts?
you using for data? I know sometimes people complain about the data availability in Intercom. So how are you collecting those insights and how are you presenting them? What kinds of tools are you using? What's your process look like?
Yeah, we've support driven. The channel Intercom has been, oh my goodness, so amazing. I've learned so much. I've stolen so much. Oh, it's been so great. So data and Intercom can definitely be better, but I think we've got a pretty good process. A lot of it is definitely human intervention. For example, like we have a lot of conversation attributes. So we have things like feature, if it's a how-to question or a perceived bug. We also have like segment, what's their ARR, things that we're pulling in from Vitally into Intercom since we have a native integration. I try to keep it as simple as possible. When it comes to support, I think a lot of leaders also try to make this really overcomplicated to tell this like
Mhm.
grand story. You just need volume and you need topics. That's your baseline. That's what's worked for me. I find that a lot of senior leadership support has notoriously been undervalued and underappreciated, and they don't see the value in it. And so when you try to overcomplicate, yeah, they're going to go, oh my God, nope, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just try to keep it super simple and really straightforward. So those are the primary data fields that we're using. And then I just make reporting with an intercom and then I present it over to our SVP of CS, who I report into. Other than that, she helps me a lot with projections, which we just use volume over the years and then the sales pipeline of understanding, okay, where we project it to go. And that's more for, again, capacity. That's more numbers and budget, which is above my pay grade. So I just let her handle a lot of that. I just provide the data. But yeah, product just wants to know what are customers confused about and why are they churning. So look at your churn segment, or sorry, your churned customers, and then go, okay, there's a clear pattern here. If you can story tell, you're golden. Like you got this. And if you don't know, ask somebody. Ask what I've done too is I've gone straight to my CEO and I go, what's important to you?
Oh,
What do
yes.
you want to know
Absolutely the
about?
best advice.
Like, why do I need to guess? I'm just going to ask you what is important to you. And then I provide a Notion doc with a ton of information and I go, here you go. I usually give it to my manager and then I give it to her manager and I go, and honestly, sometimes I've given it to people who are even kind of irrelevant, can understand the data, but have been at Vitally for such a long time and they know how to work with certain people. And I go, hey, from your experience of working with this person, I have this report. What's your feedback in terms of formatting? What's important? What's not important? Again, ask for help. I cannot emphasize that enough. And that alone has helped me so much. I don't ask for feedback anymore because I know exactly the type of formatting that they wanted in and exactly what they want. My senior leadership wants a what is this? An overview of the highlights of, hey, this tool, we need to pay attention to this tool. Highlights, actions, and then we can look deeper into the data. But they want to see the very top should explain exactly what you're going to look at. And then if you wanted to look deeper into it, scroll down.
Love that. Yeah. Journalism rules. Put it in the first sentence. The rest is fluff. But if it's not in that first sentence, you've lost the audience. 100%.
Exactly.
So we're running out of time, but we have a really good question. What tips do you have, Laura, for someone that likes the idea of collaborating, but this is their first time? They haven't done this before. Where do you start?
Yes. Good question.
Yeah. Oh man. I think it's just a matter of just do it.
Jump into that cold swimming pool.
Yeah,
Just when you're in there. Yeah.
I think we're so afraid of rejection and of looking stupid. You might, but you might also be surprised at how someone responds to you. And then you can come back to them with a much smarter way of communicating whatever it is that you want. And that person's going to go, wow, this person learns really well and takes feedback really well. Something that is a like core value to who I am as a leader and even just to Vitally in general is you're going to make mistakes. You're going to ask dumb questions. You might look stupid. It's going to happen. We're humans. Like, accept that.
You're going to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Accept that. What's really important, what you do after. That's it. So I think it's really just a matter of just ask questions. Hey, I'm new, especially when you're first starting at a company or first talking to somebody. That's a really good opportunity for you to look dumb. It really is. I tell people all the time, I'm like, you're going to ask really silly questions. Ask them now before people are like, you've been here for 6 months. Why are you asking this?
Mm.
You know, start it early, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to look dumb. I can guarantee you that most people are not going to look at you that way. They're going to go, oh, this person just doesn't know. Let me help them. And then now
I've heard the term, especially with an acquisition, but I think it's with new hires too, is that newbie halo, the acquisition halo, that you are innocent because you're brand new, you don't know anything. And it actually steps you up the ladder a bit when you start asking a lot of questions. Because we've all had that leader that steps in and is day one, I know everything, I'm changing it all, versus the leader who
Oh,
comes
yeah.
and says, tell me, show me, tell me more. Okay. And yeah, it's a totally different feel. Completely different level of respect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing this with us. Such a wonderful conversation. Where can we find you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is probably the best place. I'm under Laura Bedoya. You'll see a Vitally banner.
All right.
But yeah, anyone is welcome to connect and follow and ask questions. I'm more than happy. Or support driven because I'm in there beeping and bopping and asking questions or trying to answer questions as much as I can. But yeah, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Perfect. And Alicia,
Awesome.
on LinkedIn as
Yes.
well?
Yes, on LinkedIn, I am Alicia Ali Joseph. You will see a nice picture of me at the Support Driven Summit back in March of this year. I'm always looking to connect and help people, so definitely feel free to reach out to me in DM. I am an open book.
Same. I'm on LinkedIn, hit or miss. I think I took a little break to just survive August. But yeah, on LinkedIn, on Support Driven. That's where I live. All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.